This week on Theme Park Worldwide, the show, I'm going to be talking to you about the tallest freefall tower in France, set to open in 2016. And as Walt Disney World announces even more attraction closures, what is the future for the world's biggest theme park resort? My name's Shawn Sanbrooke, this is Theme Park Worldwide, the show. And that means it's time to cue those titles. And once again, a very warm welcome to this week's episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show. Hope you've all had a fantastic week. Back here at the World of Theme Parks after an absolutely epic couple of weeks, actually. We've been over to Copenhagen, we did Bakken, a fantastic amusement park, and Tivoli Gardens. And as you might have seen in last week's show that was on location, we had a fantastic trip. What I would recommend is that you watch the vlogs from both parks, which are now online. Well worth checking out, as it really gives a good detailed look at both the parks we visited in Denmark. Anyway, lots to get through this week, so let's kick straight in with our news off the rails. Now, ever since the original Disneyland opened in Anaheim, California, the Walt Disney Company has expanded so much with theme parks in Paris, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Shanghai next year, and of course, the crown jewel at the top, Walt Disney World Resort. Always been popular, always the most visited theme park out there in the world. However, Universal keep biting at the toes every year. Universal pushing new attractions out there every couple of years. And I think Disney is starting to get a little bit scared. How have they responded to that? They're closing more attractions, but that's hopefully making way for new stuff. So we'll start with something that we know is making way for something new, and that's the closure of Disney Quest, which is a shame. Massive building next to Cirque du Soleil in downtown Disney, or soon to be known as Disney Springs at Walt Disney World Resort. So that's closing to make way for the NBA experience. What that's going to be is an extensive, one-of-a-kind destination. It's going to have interactive games and really put families, a big family attraction right in the heart of the games, which would be quite nice. Will that include some of the past sort of experiences of Disney Quest? So obviously it was an interactive indoor theme park with a couple of flat rides in there, and interactive items, designer coaster. Hopefully some of that stuff will stay and they'll retheme it in with NBA, but we'll have to see on that one. So yeah, that's going in there. Interactive experience, retail store, and a restaurant going in. You still got a while though to experience Disney Quest. It's not closing until 2016, so you've got a little while to enjoy that yet. Moving on then to an attraction what's been closed and opening then closed, and that's Captain EO, which is coming back to Epcot. It's going to be returning to the Magic Eye Theatre on Sunday, July the 18th. So that's going to be coming back. Captain EO is basically a mini movie about Michael Jackson, which is quite cool. I do like it. Lots of effects in there and stuff. Good lighting and audio. It's a good thing to do when you're at the parks. Paris had it. They keep opening it and closing it, and it looks like they're doing the same at Disney World, but at least they have got an attraction coming back there. So it's a classic, it's a Disney classic, and I'm sure a lot of you, have seen it and know what it is, so it's definitely worth checking out. Moving on to Disney's Hollywood Studios then, where all the changes going on. They're even saying there's going to be a name change for that park in the next couple of years. Obviously, you've had quite a few attractions closed. The Jack Sparrow experience is closed. One of my favourites, the Studio Backlot Tour, that closed last year, and I was there for one of the last rides actually on that. But something else that's closing is the Magic of Disney Animation. That includes the short show starring Mushu, the Popular Animation Academy, walkthrough exhibits, and the meet and greet. So it's a shame that that's going to be closing, but it's all part of this massive reboot. We obviously know they're already putting on another track for Toy Story Motorway Mania. But what else is going on, we don't know. Heavy rumours are saying Star Wars Land, an expansion to Toy Story with having a Toy Story Playland. I don't know what's going to go in there, but that's another attraction that's closing next week on July the 12th, so not one to experience the magic of Disney animation. But we'll have to see what happens there. This big park relaunch is going to be interesting to see what happens at Disney. There's a lot of stuff going on there. They've had the Great Movie Ride have some updates recently as well. There's all sorts of rumours flying about that park. So we'll have to see what happens to Hollywood Studios. Personally, I loved it when I was there in September. So I hope they don't change things too much, but the Mickey hat, we reported early in the year how they took that down. So it's all part of this relaunch. I think we're going to see a new name in the next couple of years to that park. So we'll have to see. Moving away then from all the developments going on at Disney, interesting developments, to Nigloland, a small French theme park. Now, in 2014, they invested heavily in a Mack ride, a Mack Mega Coaster, family version, no inversions, but a sort of imagine Blue Fire Europa Park, but with no inversions, however a little smaller. They put one of them in. And now they're making a big investment for next year in a drop tower. It's actually the tallest freefall tower, actually, not a drop tower, in France. Looking forward to seeing that when it's done. So it's 100 metres high. Wow, this thing's huge. Capacity of 700 people an hour, so it's got a good capacity. Speed of around 100 kilometres an hour. Which is going to be great to see when this is finished. I've not visited Nigloland myself. I've heard some really good reviews from the park. I've had a couple of friends that have been, including Dean actually, using the vlogs. He said it's a great park, so I might have to look at getting out there next year to that one. So it'd be interesting to see. They're also opening a smaller kids one as well, manufactured by Sierra, so that'll be nice to do at the park. I like how they're putting in the big one for the adults and the small one for the kids. Loads of stuff going on over at the parks at the moment. Moving on then with our news this week, of course, Baron 1898 opened at Efteling. I'm not going to go into it this week. I'm going to make you all hold out another week until next week's show, where of course we're going to be talking about Baron 1898. I'm out there in Efteling. It's going to be great to talk about this brand new ride, and I can't wait to share it all with you here on the show. That's all then for this week's News Off the Rails. It's now time for Guess the Coaster.
Like a roller coaster, move and shake me side to side. Yes, then I know, but I make me ride like a roller coaster.
So it's time for this week's Guess the Coaster. Last week I did say it was going to be an easy one. One from one of the parks we visited, of course, Tivoli and Bakken, which it was. It was a wooden coaster, but which one was it? Rushtabahn at Tivoli or Rushtabahn at Bakken? Well, it was Bakken's wooden roller coaster that was featured for last week's Guess the Coaster. Well done, a lot of you got that right down below, so well done for that. Remember, it's just for fun then this section. Let's have another Theme Park Worldwide Guess the Coaster. Stop the clip. All you need to do is comment below just for fun, and I'll reveal it next week. Thought I'd have a play about with the order of the show this week, put interactive with me a little bit further in. So what have we had for you this week? Sent into the show. Of course, first you've got Tyler, him and his girlfriend on Stealth for the very first time. So thanks for sending in that to me here on the show. Stephen Windrum, him and his sons with a photo with me at Alton Towers. Oh, look at that. It was great to see them. I'm really glad you all like watching the show. Hi out there to you. I know you're massive fans. It was great to meet you and talk to you, so thanks for that. And finally, Lena Faulkner, her son Jack, with me at Alton Towers there as well. Oh, isn't it nice that they all love watching the show? You know, it's great to see, and I'm really glad you all enjoy it. If you do have any photos, on-ride photos, it's summer now, send them in to me here, photos at the parks. I'd love to see them. All you need to do is tweet them in at ThemeParkWW on our Twitter, or send them as a private message on the Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page. So yes, it's time for this week's Merch Paradise, and before we have a look at what I'm going to show you this week, let's have a little look at a couple of items that have been sent in by you guys at home. So first off, you got Tom Clapton with a selection of badges from his trip to Florida. Thank you very much for them. You got a fantastic selection. I've got loads myself dotted about on the shelves around the world of theme parks, but you've got a fantastic selection there. Loving that. Thanks to them. And Louis Howell with an Alton Towers mug set. Talking of mugs, let's have a look then at what I've got this week. Cue the sound effect. Boop. That's a cheap sound effect. But yeah, it's one of my favourite mugs. It's a Blue Fire Mega Coaster. It's a jumbo mug, so to give you the scale of it, I'll put it there so you can see it's about, you know, half the size of my face. But yeah, nice Blue Fire Mega Coaster, Gazprom. They've also got one of these for Silver Star this year as well, which is nice. You know, got the trains on the back. Really quite nice piece of merchandise. If you've got any photos like the ones that have been sent in, I'd love to see some really nice unique merchandise. Maybe you've got a big collection, you can put it all together and send a photo in to show me and also to show all the thousands of viewers out there as well. All you need to do is tweet them in at ThemeParkWW on the Twitter, believe it or not, and also send it as a direct message on the Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page, where we'll get back to you on either of them and put them here on the show.
Questions, questions, questions everywhere.
I think it's been quite nice mixing the show up a bit this week. So it's time for the final section of this week's episode, which is Ask Me Anything, the part of the show where I answer 4 different questions each week that have been sent in by you, the viewers. Let's have a little look then. Remember, this is the first time that I've seen the questions, and the first one is from Lisa, who's asked, do you have a favourite theme park mascot and where is it? Ooh, well, of course, Disney have amazing mascots. I'm not really going to talk to you about Disney. Of course, everybody loves the Disney mascots. I'm going to be a bit more unique with this one, with my mascots, and say Euromouse at Europa Park. Really good mascot. I love what Europa Park do with him. Because they have the merchandise, they have the characters, they have the parade, they have the stage shows, and they've just launched the Junior Club this year with an interactive website, all games and stuff. Really, really nice. So yeah, definitely Euromouse. Thanks for the question, Lisa. Bradley Taylor, what's the next big roller coaster you think the UK needs? So not what's coming, what it needs. Steel or wood, and what manufacturer? I'd love to see some more wood in this country. I think we've got some fantastic woodies at Blackpool. Of course, we've got Megaphobia at Oakwood, but I'd love to see a Rocky Mountain. I'd love to see an RMC come over here. If you've not seen them, they do the wooden hybrids, I'd love to see something like that come to this country. So thanks for that, Bradley. Christian has asked, what's your favourite scene or animatronic in a dark ride? Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. I love it. The Paris version is the best version for me that I've done so far. That might change after California in September. But yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, I love it. It's my favourite sort of scene in there, right near the end with the skulls, where you've got all the lights shining down and then you've just got them, whistling along to the soundtrack. Really good scene. I love it. Absolutely love it. Ben Molinox, would you own your own theme park and what would it be like? Well, of course, I'd love to have my own theme park. And what would it be like? Well, I've always got this vision of having a theme park with a volcano in the middle and having all different islands around the outside of it battling against each other, and then you have your big nighttime show where all the different areas are like fighting against each other. But that's just on Roller Coaster Tycoon. But you never know. If I win Euro Millions, I'll make this promise to all of you viewers now. If I win Euro Millions and it was something like 60 million, I would use that money and invest it to start up a small theme park. I know that 60 million is not going to get me a massive place, but it'd be a good start, to get a few smaller rides and go from there, one big coaster sort of thing. And so that's what I'd do. That's it then for this week's episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show. Hope you've enjoyed it. Next week's an F-telling special. Going to be everything F-telling. It's going to be great. Baron 1898, the dive coaster. And it's just going to be fantastic. First time at the park. I can't wait. Make sure you check out the Alton Towers vlog online this week, along with Tivoli and Backen from last weekend's awesome trip. My name's Shawn Sanbrooke. Thank you very much for watching Theme Park Worldwide. And that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later, guys. Have an awesome week.